one more go around.
Do it.
Ready? Let's do
Do
it,
it.
baby.
That's a touchdown, baby.
Hi, and welcome to DD Live. I'm your host, one and only, and not the most losingest captain ever to grace the field, Angel Camacho, and my esteemed colleague, the one and only made of gold himself, Jose Perraguera. How do you feel, Jose?
Gang, gang. Bro, honestly, man, was a
It's a
rough
weird
season.
season. It's a
Yeah,
rough
man.
season.
Rough
Look,
season.
before we get into the season, the recap of the last week and the playoffs, we have a nice fun-filled show here to wrap it up. Wanted to thank everyone who voted for us. We it's either we're winning it or we're second place. We're not your one-off. We're consistently here. And we love you guys. We appreciate all the votes that we got. And special shout out to the hot seat with the resurgence.
Killed it.
Obviously, one of the cornerstones of and honestly one of the main drivers for us to want to create content. So CP, Andres, you guys tip of the hat. I'll get you guys next season. There's always next season, man. But hey,
Nah, fuck that.
we have to
Like,
be the winningest. We have to be the winningest second best show ever, man. This is awesome.
yeah,
But
man.
congratulations. We couldn't and I wanted also to, bum rush you here and take the opportunity to send our well wishes to Tiff. Perra, we know what you're going through. We love you. You're one of the good guys, and if you're one of the good guys, that puts Tiff up there with God and everything that is holy. So, we're sending all of our love, and we appreciate, especially you being able to make yourself available to do the final episode so we
Yep,
could
yep.
give the final kiss to the season.
The season that was.
The season that was. And then, okay, so let's get to it. The season that was. Let's talk about it. Let's first get to the last week. Let's recap what happened to the last week so everyone knows how we're going into the playoff picture. So give us the 4-1-1, Perra.
I mean, man, it was everything that I expected in terms of having to play 5 games. Week 4, I lucked out of that because I was traded to the Chiefs, who were one of the few teams that had played a full game in week 3. So I only played 4 games week 4. So week 5 was rough. We kind of knew we were going into it. In terms of we had a chance, right? But it was very it was very bleak, right? And we had to come out and fight. I think we came out to with a lot of energy, but that kind of seemed and felt like it was, the thing of this season, in reality, man, and on both of the teams that I was in terms of, starting out strong, but just like weird, we weren't able to finish or, missed throws, drop touchdowns, drop crucial first downs. And we just couldn't ever get that real stop when we needed it. So, but as far as everyone else, I mean, like always,
Let's talk
right?
about Corona. What happened to the Lions?
Man, that was
Like, because those are the surprises that I'm taking from the final week. I knew that we are gonna pack a punch and go into the we'll get to the Dolphins, but Corona was a surprise. I thought they were gonna they were cemented into the playoffs, but to now absolutely nothing. That's a big question mark there.
yeah, man. I mean, the thing about that conference, and even our conference, right? There was really nothing set in stone. You always knew that they was the potential of one of those teams was going to drop out. Besides the Chargers and the Cardinals because they were sitting pretty at number one. But just the way in which it happened and just like, man, the total collapse that was the day of the Lions and Corona was tough. I didn't really get to see him play much, but I was seeing the end of some games, and it was just I don't know, man. It was bad. It was the and you never kind of want to pick on someone or kick them while they're down, but man, it was the true definition of just a meltdown. And
Because if I tell you Raiders, Patriots, Lions, only two are getting in. Lions is the first one you say, and then it's a coin flip whether it's the Patriots or the Raiders. But in this go around, and much to do with the way that Chris D, overtook the handoffs. But Patriots and Raiders got in, and the Raiders made it work, even though there were some question marks. There was some bad officiating by the Dolphins. Not having control of the field. And people screaming, but the Raiders had their question marks. Patriots had their question marks, and they got in.
yeah,
Corona getting to a final, Montano getting to a final, and
together.
then
Right. And it's like you said, if you would have given me that list, going into week 5, I for sure would have said granted, it's very easy to say, oh, I was never really high on them. I never got to play them. I never even got to referee them. So I can't speak too much on the Lions. But in terms of, they had that chemistry at the top, and they didn't make any moves, and obviously the Raiders and the Patriots were coming off, pretty major moves. And yeah, right. It can happen in 1 week, and that's in essence what happened. Both of those teams kind of clicked at the right time. They came together, and I don't know. I mean, man, I truly don't even know what really happened to the Lions because again, they had that continuity and the chemistry from all season long. So
even though Corona was trying to make trades galore.
granted, right?
Maybe that played into it. Maybe he just wasn't
I mean,
happy and was second guessing himself, or maybe the forcing to Montano just caught up to him because he had great weapons and he just wasn't utilizing them.
yeah,
Bender for one,
yeah. I mean, man,
and
no
and
tier
not to
6.
just
That team was big.
and not to beat up on Alliance, but the Niners did themselves no favors. I felt like they were just up and down, up and down. Felt like like Georgie's very volatile as quarterback.
Yeah.
Either you're gonna
I
have,
mean,
it depends which one you're gonna get.
yeah, I mean that one made a little bit more sense, right? Because of the injury that he had to deal with, and stuff like that. So that made a little bit more sense, and kind of their shakiness, but whether they were able to, truly or not, they were able to right the ship somewhat, and made the playoffs. Bought Georgie an extra 3 weeks to rest, so we'll see how he looks in the playoffs. But top to bottom, I think they're a pretty good team. I mean, they're definitely not on the upper echelon, but it is, it is what it is at this point. I think there's very clear favorites in my opinion.
So
And
let's
then
get to that. Let's get to it because we got you got three teams that scored above 30 points. So that's either 10, 11 wins. You got the Jaguars with 32 points, 10 wins. You got the Chargers, 32 points, 10 wins. And you got the Cardinals, 35 points, 11 wins. So those are the three teams going in. So it's MV Poti, Peaky, and the newly revamped Chargers, which I don't know. I felt like something
I
in
mean
the
that's
air
an
was going to
upgrade.
happen.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
three.
that
I
was
mean,
no.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. But obviously, this team was already up here, so they're now up here, and so you got MV Poti now getting on that side of the conference, and which congratulations, like that was runaway. That was hey,
Yeah,
you made Didi Live's job easy. We extended the streak. We called another one. We publicly called another winner. I think we're on what 6, 7 seasons in a row calling the right MVP. So
yeah.
you made our life very easy for us. But Cardinals extremely exciting, and they did that with half their players either injured, not carrying, or not playing.
Yeah. It's yeah, man. I mean, I think they are, obviously one of the front runners. Um, I would I would have put them at number one, until the Chargers, picked up, Devin. So
Which we'll get to that. We're gonna get
yeah,
to that. We're gonna
yeah,
get to that. So let's not even touch that. I want to first talk about, let's end up the week. Dolphins. We have to talk about the Dolphins because I got kicked around this whole entire season. There is a lot of learning points. I feel that I'll be a captain again. I think a lot of the
yeah.
mistakes that I made early on in the draft process, losing control of the team, and there was a lot of things that I learned about my team. I'm kind of glad that I did stick with Mike C. I had him completely wrong. He was one of the guys that really wanted to stick it out with me, and kudos to Angel and Chris Z, because Chris Z, he was fighting for a playoff spot and obviously trying to improve his team, and he gets the
Chip.
butt end of the deal, and he gets shipped into a graveyard. And as soon as I made the trade, I called him and I told him that I'm sorry, but I'm not asking to be traded. I need your help because we got to right this ship. I really, and that should have been the team I picked, but I was afraid of Patterson and Chris Z, both of them missing weeks. But in hindsight, I could have taken all those L's like I already did and would have had a stronger team overall.
Yeah. I mean,
But
like you said, hindsight is pretty easy to Monday quarterback things. It's very easy. I wouldn't necessarily say you made like crazy mistakes, during the draft. And like I mentioned, you have proven that, although for whatever reason, right, your play may sometimes, you know, leave things, or leave whatever
not
the
to be
however the
desired,
thing. Yeah.
not to be desired, not to be
Um,
desired. There was some brutal weeks in DD, like
yeah,
they were
but that
brutal.
happens to everybody. I mean, look, man, this is my first season not making playoffs. And if anything, I would probably say that I made the biggest mistakes or I had the shittiest draft. Because I kind of was just kind of all over the place. I didn't really have an identity to my team to begin with, right? And again, you know what you were building, and you had good draft picks. Obviously, is it easy to say you should have drafted Donnell over Patterson if he was there? I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, he did. He
obviously,
was. He was.
it's very easy to say that now, right? Obviously, um, but I think I think obviously, right? Everybody
But there's a
makes
lot of things. There's a lot of things you take into consideration. Also, chemistry, actually being able to communicate with the guys. Will he won't even play the certain scheme? Um, Also controlling the huddle, controlling the team. Yeah, you don't want to get traded. You had a bad week, and I was almost got shipped out, which was one of the things that really got me upset. And I really didn't like, how Joanne went and started publicizing it, because I think in the public eye, everyone was making it seem like I wanted to be saved or I wanted to get shipped out. And, but, that was never the case. It was David and I, we were like completely resolved on wanting to ride this ship out and wanting to win out. For me, it was more from a point of honor. I was entrusted to be a captain. I take it very seriously. I love this league. I love playing in this league. And I even when captains were trying to trade, save David, save Pat, and no, I need to get value, because if everyone sees it for what it is that I'm tanking or saving my boys, like, I'm not going to
then
get
you
that
lose all
respect.
respect going
I
forward.
lose all respect, so and for me it was important. It was a vital importance not to be the worst ever captain. That was extremely important to me. And at the end of the day, for as bad as I was this season, as bad as the Dolphins were this season, we weren't the worst team in DD.
Oh, thanks, bro.
We didn't even finish at the bottom, baby. We didn't finish at the bottom.
Hey, but I picked you
But
up.
no, yeah, you didn't, and you do stupid. You have me, this kid. Oh my God, why would you have to do that? Yeah, but good rebuttal. Good rebuttal. But it was a fun season. It was a fun
Yeah.
season. I think it tested the patience of a lot of people. And it kind of made you appreciate quarterbacks, made you appreciate people who know and they're very good and they could excel at that position, and it just elevates the overall game. But it was a fun season. There was some questionable things which we're going to get to now. Um, but in overall teams that I want to look at for a playoff perspective, I'm kind of curious as to two teams. What are the Jaguars going to give us in the playoffs? I've been high on the Jaguars the whole season. You have not. what are they going to give us? What kind of team they're going to be in the playoffs? Secondly, the Colts. How many times are they going to be up 3-1 and then like not win the game or get it out through the grace of God? Are they going to turn up in the playoffs? Because I know that Dario has the ability. Dallas has the ability. That's a very good, solid squad. So, those are two curious teams that going into the playoffs. Because obviously my pick'ems are out there. I got Chargers, Cardinals going into the final. I had this intuition that something was going to go in favor for two owners of DD and Beaky, which the guys do. The guys do.
Listen, man. As far as Beaky and his history in DD, I truly don't know if he's ever had a real better team. I'm sure he's gonna sit there at some point and nitpick and say that he had whatever. But man, especially now with with the acquisition of Devin, I truly don't know how he has not saying Stritz was not a quarterback, but he has a real quarterback, that has played with him more. That's a little bit definitely more mobile than Stritz on defense.
Yeah.
And if
Have you
and when
seen
he gives
Devin?
the handoffs,
Devin's
yeah,
on that. That Hollywood diet.
yeah, so
Guys lost like
no
50
no tier
pounds. He
six,
looks.
yeah, no, that team is if Biggie at the end of the day,
I'm curious as to what rankings. I'm sure there was some technicality that was used in order that Stritz was inappropriately ranked higher than Devin, but I've never seen. I've felt that Devin's never been a quarterback that's been gone further than a tier 2 or tier 3 at worst. No.
he's never even snuck past like the
And
top half of tier two.
I thought Stritz would be what, a tier 4, tier 5?
I mean, I would honestly say Stritz is definitely, when it comes to not being a captain and just being a quarterback on the board, he would
Right,
probably
like that's what we're
get
talking.
drafted or not drafted. He would probably get ranked right around me, like mid tier 5, in my opinion.
Right, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
But I don't know, John. Little suspicious. Little stitious. Little stitious. All right. How do you feel about that? Because Devin's nasty.
I
Devin,
like I
Beaky.
said, man,
Andy's on another one on the Hollywood diet. Andy's another one que está bien tocado. And a courtesy of Divine Physical Training, Andy Ace Garcia, for all your physical ailments. This man will get you running, humming like a bird, humming like a bird. Andy's on the Andy Ace program from Divine Training. So I don't know, man. I don't know.
I
It's a
mean,
solid team. They
I
still
mean,
got
brother,
Ham.
yeah,
They still
exactly.
got Elvis, and they still got
Andres,
Andres.
yeah,
Who's the worst
again,
player on that team? Who's the worst player on the team?
Andy. That's the whole reason
Hey,
or the
I'm
whole
so
thought
glad I picked
process.
the Chargers.
Yeah.
This is where I make the comeback. This is where I make the comeback in the
I
pick'ems
mean,
for the season.
again, man, I really do not see how this is not Peaky's best team, and it's not close. And again, given
And
the
not winning the MVP, not winning the MVP.
given
You
those
know, he gets the top
circumstances,
seed. He gets the
it's
quarterback upgrade
it, it's his league to
to
lose
lose. It's his to lose.
because
It's his start to lose.
yeah,
It's his start to lose.
the competition is weaker, yada yada yada.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
the excuses out there, like brother, if you don't win it this season, there really is no excuse because you're not the
Because
quarterback, but we know you
looking
are
at
the quarterback and you're astronomically the better player on any field that you're gonna step on. Like it's just yeah, man, and you're gonna have the
and with
better
the
team.
players around him and the players around him,
Yeah, yeah,
next tournament is going to be even harder for him because it's just quarterback only, no playing defense, and the talent pool for that one in terms of quarters. Like this is the one to win right now. It's the one to
yeah.
win right now. I think.
They're definitely the heavy
Other,
favorites, at least in their conference.
what do you feel about the Cardinals? Do you think that too much, like that the wheels come off, or you think it's just
And
hey, we're some people are just in chaos. They work in chaos.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think individually they probably have a top three player in each tier, right? Bodie in this scenario is a top three quarterback. AJ is a top three player. Arguably in tier 1, Andy, same thing. Steady, if you drop into tier 3, same thing. Like Vic is not really a 5, he should be a 4, arguably. Like again, and then obviously the upgrade from Roger to Mali. Not that it's an astronomical one, it is an upgrade at the end of the day. But man, it's just individually, it's a really good team. Together, I don't really know if they've really come together. There's too much arguing, and I don't see Poti as like that leader. Granted, I'm not a a leader, especially like a loud one. I'm more of a quiet leader. But I don't even
Right.
I don't know. I haven't really seen that from Poti, and again with all the screaming surrounding that team, whether it's Roger on the sidelines, steady. I
It's
don't
a
know, man.
lot.
It's a
It's a
lot.
circus. It's
It's
a
a lot.
circus. It's a circus. That team is a circus. It's crazy.
But top to bottom, I think they are the favorites. And I definitely would, if I was betting, I would bet on them to win our, my conference. Because again, like you said, I haven't really been crazy about the Jaguars. Again, another team that I unfortunately never really got to see up close, other than your game in week 2, but that really wasn't a game because you guys were playing like 3 hard. So, I never played them. I never got to referee them other than that game. So I don't really have a
What do you think about Chiefs, Packers?
I mean, Packers obviously losing Danny. Danny get well soon, my brother.
It
That
was
was
pretty horrific.
it was pretty graphic, but you'll be back. You'll be back for sure. You're a fighter. But man, that's a big loss. Is he keeping Pablo? Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's keeping Kentucky.
Yeah. Um, I mean,
Kentucky's a Swiss Army knife.
yeah. He definitely is.
He's a DD Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, he's definitely, I wouldn't say he's at the level of Danny on either side of the ball, realistically. He's definitely more of a do-it-all type of player. So I would imagine, maybe that means Petey can come off on some handoffs now, have a little bit more trust in Pablo throwing rather than Danny. I don't know. But that's a pretty good team, man. That's a good team. That's a nice little solid team. But I still like the Cardinals. The Jaguars. Again, man, I haven't really seen them play. I don't know if it's that people are not picking on, the quote unquote 2 tier 6s, even though they don't have like the worst tier 6s. And then on top of that, obviously Chris is a phenomenal defender, given, the talent pool. So, and Brian is a monster. And they're a good team, man. They're a good team. You got to see how they react in the playoffs.
Which is interesting. But you see, like it gets hot. It could, that's the playoffs. It's the playoffs. Okay, so that kind of sums up one more team, Ravens, because that's another team that it's an enigma what you're gonna get. Because Mark, when he's upper echelon, he's upper echelon. That's a pretty smart, pretty deep team. Revis is a gamer. Are you high on the Ravens?
I mean, I've been historically not high on the Ravens. Man, I just don't know if they get Revis that played me last season in the playoffs. They're gonna present a lot of problems. But man, because last season Revis in the playoffs was he beat us single-handedly beat me in the Seahawks last season. Granted, he wasn't playing quarterback, but who do they play?
I'll tell you right now. That's actually what I was actually going to right now. Was just spammed here. Okay, so Ravens get Patriots.
You see, that's a tough matchup, right? Obviously, I don't think I'm letting out any deep secrets here. The Ravens like to play box, and Mike is obviously a phenomenal rusher with his size. I'm not gonna compare myself to Josh when it comes to athleticism. And, although Josh is more athletic, Josh also definitely gets himself into more trouble than I would say I get myself
But
into.
Chrissy was taking the ball out at least 90% of the time away from Josh.
Yeah, but again, I think athlete for athlete, they match up pretty
Which,
well.
hey, leads us to another filler into this show. Congratulations to Chris D and Darcy. By the time this airs, they're going to be mommy and
Oh,
daddy. They've already today. They began their voyage
oh, damn, bro. Congrats, man. That's big time.
the baby coming to the earth. Congratulations to Chris
Congratulations,
D and
guys.
Darcy. They
That's
are
big
royal family of DD. That's another addition,
for sure.
another possible NAS recruit for youth flag football soon.
You flag football.
Yeah, so my kids could so when I can't play
Yeah.
anymore, then I'll be coaching.
Um, yeah, man. I mean, I,
You
I,
want
I,
you want to you want to get into the picks? Let's get into the picks. Let's get
yeah,
into the
let's do it.
picks.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Let's move into the next segment. Playoff pick'ems. First game, Patriots, Ravens. I got Patriots.
Yeah, man. Patriots are Chris D, Josh, Carlos, Enzo, Mike, and Ray, right?
Yep. Against Revis, Mark,
Shamir,
Shamir,
Mike,
Big
CP.
Mike, CP, and Jeezy.
And that's a good game, man. That's a good game. But I,
Jeezy's
I'm
fun though. I love
I'm
Jeezy.
I'm 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 gonna have to take the better quarterback and the better leader tandem
Jeezy.
in Chris D and Josh over, you know,
Okay.
uh
That's what I
Revis
had to.
Revis and CP.
Okay. That's what I had to. Raiders, Niners.
I mean,
Who are you
man,
gonna get? Which Georgia you're gonna get? I like Niners.
which Georgia you gonna get?
I
Is
love
Sam still
Niners, man,
playing,
because I
or they
believe so.
dropped the tier 6?
I believe everyone's playing. Sid, Kurt. That's a good team, bro.
Yeah, man. But then
When
on
they're
the
on, they're on.
yeah, but then on the other side you got Crego, Ant, Peppers, uh, Enzo. No, yeah, Enzo.
Enzo. Enzo's on the Patriots. Enzo's on the Patriots.
Oh no, so could have Chris Martinez, the big tall
Yeah.
Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it's Chris, Peppers, Ant, Grego. Who's their tier 5?
Laval.
No, he's their 6. Who's their 5?
Because they got rid of Duhaney. I refed them. They were all like cursing at me. Let me remember this. We got Crego, Ant, Peppers, Laval. That's crazy. Back me up here into a corner.
No, I'm there too. No, you see, boo.
Boo, that's right.
And they do have Enzo. Chris Martinez is on the Patriots. It's vice versa. At least that's what
That's
it
right.
shows
They
on the
do.
website.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
You are right. You are right. You are right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
My bad.
because oh man. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go uh I'm gonna go Raiders. I'm gonna go Raiders. I trust a handoff game more um with Ant and Crego. Especially not especially, but I'm assuming either Ralphie or Campos are gonna rush. I'm gonna give the edge to the Raiders on that edge, especially on the tier 6 also with Alabama. So I think overall another good game that should be a 3-2 or a 4-3 game or even a close 4-2. But given that it's playoffs, I think it's gonna go 3-2 Raiders.
And then I believe they would take on the Chargers.
They're the 5th seed, so yeah, they would take on the Chargers. Um, no, they're the 5th seed, no?
Wait, hold on. Oh, because I
Yeah,
then
they're the 5th seed, so they would play the Texans, and then the Chargers will be playing the Patriots, since we both got the Patriots winning. Um, I mean, I got
in my scenario, I got Chargers Patriots, so I'm taking Chargers.
yeah, that's we both have the same scenario. I'm gonna take the
Okay.
Chargers. And then in the Texans Raiders, I'm gonna take the Raiders, and I don't think it's gonna be close. Um, I don't
Yeah, no,
see.
and I have Texans Niners, and I got Texans.
Yeah, no, I have Raiders Texans, and I have the Raiders beating the Texans.
Oh, and you have the Raiders beating the Texans. Oh, wow. I have the Texans beating the Niners. So you
Yeah.
have the Texans surviving. Wow. And you got the Raiders making a little push. Okay, so we keep going. Well, on the other side, wait, hold on. We went too forward. Now the other side. Well, let's keep going on that side. Doesn't matter. Then
Yeah, I think
I would
ultimately we
have, I
both
would
come
have,
out with the Chargers.
yeah, because I have Texans, Chargers, and then Chargers. Okay. So then the other side is Falcons, Chiefs. I got Falcons.
Man,
Remet puts it together for one game. He has to. He had such a good season. I don't know what happened.
yeah, man. The thing is, man,
Injury.
I played the Chiefs. I played the New League Chiefs, and we were up 2-0, and then we still should have. We were up 3-1, I believe, or 3-2, and we should have won anyways. Just a little bit of a we missed a connection.
Miscommunication.
Yeah, miscommunication on the route. But we should have beat them. But man, I just think at the end of the day, top to bottom, that 1 through 5 is tough. 1 through 5 is tough. So I'm gonna have to go Chiefs in that one.
I got Falcons. I got Falcons. Colts, Packers.
Um I think
I love the Colts. I talked all that good stuff about the Colts, but I want Packers here.
yeah, I think it should be an easy game for the Packers because they have a good rush to get to Dario. Um he loves to lock into to Mikey and and Alex. But the Packers have a good rush with Gianni, and having Petey, he's I would imagine he's gonna and Pablo, they're gonna be like, yo guys, we can't allow the deep throw. We can't allow the deep shot. Granted, easier said than done, especially with Alex, but I think the rushing presence of Gianni makes a difference, and I got Packers.
I would have Falcons, Cardinals, and I think that's going to be a blowout Cardinals.
You would have Falcons, Cardinals.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think for you,
it would be Packers,
swap because
Cardinals. Yeah, it would be Packers,
yeah, it would be
Cardinals,
Cardinals,
and
and you still
and again, I still think it's the same scenario. I think Gianni
okay.
will be able to put some pressure on on Poti, maybe move around and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't know if they have anyone to stop AJ.
And Andy
And yeah, and then Vic is a very tough matchup for them as well. So
Cardinals there. I would have Packers, Jaguars, and this is one that it's going to be a 4-3 game, but I just kind of see PD putting it like I've just seen him on too many occasions this season, kind of string something together, and I just feel like this is playoff teams that kind of get hot. The ones that make noise. I think the Packers make a good run here, and I think the Packers get this one to give us Packers Cardinals on
yeah.
conference.
I mean,
Semis for me.
for me, it would be Jaguars, Chiefs, and
And then
as
it's
much.
Cardinals, Chargers. We're both Cardinals, Chargers, right?
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, we're taking different routes, but we're both getting to the same championship game.
And it's MD Poti versus Peaky. Peaky gets his first star.
Yeah, man, I really don't see it any other way, right? Again, all things being equal, everyone healthy, this, that, and the other. I really think at the end of the day, it's gonna be tough to be Peaky, and the Chargers. The team is very good, man. Very, very, very good.
That's how it's gonna play out. Any bold predictions you wanna share with us?
Well, I mean, I guess if anything, I kind of already said it, right? I think I got the Raiders making it all the way to the
Yeah,
conference.
making I put yeah, I think that's and I think that should be my bold prediction there too. The Packers getting to the conference championship, losing to the Cardinals.
Good.
So that's gonna be a pretty big run. Looking forward to it. Sounds like it's gonna be an impactful weekend. So wishing everyone the healthy weekend and having putting it on the line, get that star from a star winner, from another star winner. We want you guys to come into the club. So come step inside,
It's a dope little club.
see how we living in here. See how we living in here. But we appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for watching. Another season in the books. Let's see what's in store for us up ahead. Pedro, I don't know if you want to say any closing comments.
Hey, man, Tough season for the Saints. I appreciate everyone that stuck it out. Not only on the Saints, but I guess in theory we were the only graveyard. But I think everyone on the Steelers as well. Their season came down to a crashing halt. But like always, man, DD's family. I appreciate everyone's support. We love you guys. And like Angel said at the beginning, not any shit or anything like that. We're the people show. We're first or second place every season. So, once again, we appreciate all the love. We do this for you guys. For the entertainment of everybody here. And just to bring joy and a little bit of shit talking to everyone's pregame routine.
That's you almost made me cry there, man. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.
All right, boys.
That's a touchdown, baby.